Paisanos, it's the Super Mario Brothers Super Show!
Oh yeah, this is happening. I'm gonna be talking about my very first impressions on the Super Mario Brothers Super Show. And you can probably tell how happy I am to talk about this show, as well as the other two Mario cartoons that I'm gonna be talking about later. I mean, to be frank, it's better than talking about that movie. Ugh, still shudder by the other mention of it. But anyways, until Illumination's Mario movie comes out, I'm going to be talking about all three cartoon shows based on everybody's beloved Italian plumber. Of course, it's based around the other characters, but we'll get to them in a bit. Let's go back in time for a bit. Let's go back to the year 1985, which was the same year that Super Mario Bros. For the NES or Nintendo Entertainment System was born. And when it first came out, it was a huge hit. And it got basically what every hit game gets. The merchandise treatment. You know, with toys and candy and, you know, just all sorts of stuff. I mean, it's not like anyone would spend huge amounts of money for, like, Mario stuff, right? Oh. And the game did get some sequels, two in fact. One of them being exclusive only for Japan and eventually became Lost Levels, and the other one is the Super Mario Bros. 2 that North America eventually got. And then came 1989, where somebody had the bright idea of, hey, how about we turn this into this?
What?
Well, my friend, you get
With the Mario Brothers and plumbing's a game. We're not like the others who get all the fame.
pretty much that. And thus, the Super Mario Bros. Super Show was created, a cartoon show that has all of our favorite characters. And the initial reaction to the show was pretty much like this.
Alright. I said, alright.
I'm sure there's some kids who thought the show was okay. As for some other people, they didn't really like the show. But hey, give the show some credit. At least it gave us what it promised. And as for me, I think this show is a huge nostalgia trip. Like, I remember when I was little and me and my older brother were going on Netflix, and then we saw this show, and we decided to watch it, and overall, we had a good time. Now, do I still think that this show is a good time? Well, before I can answer that question, let's just take a more deeper dive into the show itself. You ready? Alright, let's go.
I say a throw the brothers.
Alright, first things first. The opening.
With the Mario Brothers and plumbing's a game. We're not like the others who get all the fame. If your sink is in trouble, you can call us on the double. We're faster than the others, you'll be hooked on the brothers.
Yeah, it is a cheesy hip-hop rap remix of the Mario theme, but hey, at least it's catchy.
Yo, you're in for a treat, so hang on to your seat. Get ready for adventure and remarkable feats. You'll meet Koopas and Troopers, the princess and the others. Hanging with the plumbers, you'll be hooked on the brothers to the bridge.
Say what you want about this show, at least the theme song is catchy. Alright, now that we got the opening out of the way, it's time to talk about the episodes themselves. And each episode has two segments, and we're going to talk about one of them. So each episode starts off with a live action segment, which the segment itself seems like its own episode. And this segment stars our two favorite Italian plumbers, Mario and Luigi, with Luigi being played by Danny Wells and Mario being played by Lou Albano.
That's right, Mario. And by the way, a little piece of spaghetti on your overalls. You, Luigi.
Yeah, these two are a joy to watch. Now, the plot of these segments always has these two in different scenarios depending on who's the guest appearance. Whether the guest star is either somebody who was popular at the time, or maybe even a fictional character like, Count Dracula or Inspector Gadget. What? You think I was kidding? You think that was just a joke? Well, no, because that actually happened in the show. Yeah, some of these guest appearances are pretty weird. The weirdest part about this is that they appear twice in the show. But anyways, the live action segments only last until like the beginning of the episode and somewhere at the end of the segment that we'll get to eventually. Speaking of that other segment,
I can't quit now, Luigi. I was born with a plunger in my hand.
now that we're done with the live action segments, which is a shame since I want to talk about them more, but I realized that I got other sections to do. Which brings us to the next section, which is the main plot of each episode, which is known as the cartoon segments.
Yo, it's the Mario Brothers.
Alright, now we're getting into the good stuff. Also, I like how this opening, even though we already have an opening, just plays and tells like the origin of how Mario and Luigi got into the Mushroom Kingdom. I mean, yeah, sure, it's repeated multiple times in every single episode, but I kinda like it.
Discovered they can't help but be hooked on the brothers.
So the beginning of these episodes always starts off with a little narration from Mario, or, as he likes to call it, a plumber's log.
Plumber's Log number 101, the land of ice. Plumber's Log number 1014. Plumber's Log 3962.
Oh, and in case you're wondering, no, a plumber's log is not an actual plumber's log. A plumber's log is basically a type of narration of Mario basically describing the events that are going to happen, which is basically all sorts of misadventures of going into different kingdoms and stopping the evil King Koopa from plotting his evil schemes. Wait a minute. Going into different kingdoms? Why does that sound so familiar? Nah, it's probably just me. But anyways, the plot of each episode always centers around our four protagonists: Mario, Luigi, Toad, and Princess Toadstool. Wait, hold on. I gotta address something real quick before we continue. You see, Princess Peach wasn't called Princess Peach back then. She was called Princess Toadstool. And that was her original name before Super Mario 64, where her name was officially changed to Princess Peach. Similar to how Bowser was called King Koopa back then. Anyone got that? Okay, good. Let's continue. Now that we know the basics of these segments, it's time to talk about the characters themselves.
But I can't. I'm gonna have a baby.
This picture right here is the order I'm doing. Character number 1, Mario. Now, this version of Mario is a lot more different than the Mario we all know and love, because this one is the New York accent Mario. It's not the Mario that goes, "Hello, it's me, Mario," but it's more like the voice that was used back then, which I think was kind of the voice that Chris Pratt is using for the movie, but I'm not so sure about that. And it's also the accent that certain other movie uses. But anyways, let's talk about his character. He likes to talk about food.
Excuse me, paisano. We'd like 3 orders of free spaghetti to go.
We're free! How can I thank you?
That's easy. I can think of 7 ways.
7?
Yeah, spaghetti, ravioli, macaroni, tortellini, muscacelli, linguini, and garlic ice cream.
The Emperor must be a wonderful man. I can't wait to meet him.
Oh, I can't wait to meet all that spaghetti.
And also, who can forget this line?
Hustler power.
Look, these characteristics don't really suit Mario well, but I really like how this gives him more personality, so this version of Mario is A-okay in my book. Character number 2, Luigi. While Mario's characteristics are much different in the show than they are in the games, Luigi has kind of a similar characteristic to his game counterpart. What do I mean by this? Well, first of all, he's still a scaredy cat brother, and 2, he still has the sort of development as a brother to Mario. I mean, come on, just look at this clip.
Patty cake, pasta man. Give me pasta power as fast as you can.
Let's see how it was in the games.
Luigi! Ha-ha! Nice job! Way to go!
What is wrong with you, Mario? But anyways, want to hear a good example on how Luigi was a good brother to Mario in the Super Show? Well, how about in that one episode where Mario was literally about to die and Luigi was willing to make a pepperoni pizza pie just to help his dear brother? That is one strong brotherly bond. And yeah, I know, Luigi did have some development in the Luigi's Mansion games, but those games didn't exist back then. But hey, neither did this. I literally can't get over that. But anyways, let's hope Illumination does this.
Wake up, Mario! Please wake up!
And yeah, pretty much that. Character number 3, Toad. I'm gonna be honest with you, Toad is my least favorite of the group. And that's all because, well, his voice is annoying. Kinda like his video game counterpart. So yeah, I'm not gonna show any clips or even talk about him because, you know, I don't really like him. So anyways, moving on. Character number 4, Princess Toadstool. You know what? Instead of explaining this character, I'm just gonna let this video play. Enjoy!
You'll never win, you repulsive reptile!
Yeah, there's nothing much I can say here. Well, aside from this chart, which you can go ahead and read. And finally, character number 5. King K. Rool. King Koopa. Yeah, King Koopa. Okay, I'm going to be completely honest. King Koopa from the show looks like King K. Rool from Donkey Kong Country. I mean, I get what they were trying to do with the design, like make it look like the 8-bit sprite from the original game, but just look at it. It's basically King K. Rool. I mean, just slap a red cape on him and boom, there you go. This is King K. Rool. Or maybe this design inspired King K. Rool. I don't know. Either way. But anyways, for those of you who are familiar with the big nowadays, this one is more of the same thing. He's the main antagonist. He's the main obstacle for the heroes in every single episode. But there's a sort of gimmick to him. Like, in every single episode, depending on which land or kingdom they're in, he wears different outfits that somewhat fit the theme. Like, you're in the Wild West, you can wear a cowboy outfit. You're in a city, you could wear like a mafia gangster outfit. If you're in space, may I suggest Darth Vader? And if you're in a kingdom where there's a Fountain of Youth, you may dress up as a baby? Huh? And if you're making an Indiana Jones spoof, you dress up as a... Wait, what the fuck? Okay, now that I got that image out of my brain, let's talk about the episodes themselves, shall we?
Do you know someone that owns a gun or a knife?
Alright, here's a question. Do you know how difficult it is to make a video without having any script to work with? It's pretty hard, right? Well, I'm pretty sure that's a majority of my videos as well as this one. But out of all the sections in this video, this one is the most difficult I've ever had, because I literally had to go through all different sources to make sure I got every single episode correctly. Like, I had to research through some of the episodes I've seen, research through the episodes I haven't seen, and add them all together while excluding ones that weren't official. And that concludes to the Super Show having a total of 52 episodes. Yes, all of this research equals to 52 episodes in total. Alright, now that I calculated the total amount of episodes in the show, let's talk about some of the highlights of each episode. And like I mentioned before, the highlights of the show is of course the live action segments. I don't know why they're the highlights, they're just really entertaining for me. I mean, yeah, they're not the actual episodes, but it's nice to see some sort of sitcom-like humor. And then we have the animated segments, which have a couple of things I like about them. One of them being the characters, which I've already explained, and second being the music. I have to give A for effort for the show to make their own remixes of certain tracks. The tracks that they use is ripped from Mario Bros 1 and Mario Bros 2. They're just making it to a new remix, which, honestly, they're pretty good remixes that not a lot of video game shows and movies do. Well, at least not in a way of nostalgia bait, unlike a certain movie! But anyways, another thing that I like about the animated segments is the different worlds, which, to be honest, some of them are actually pretty unique. And some of them are just, well, outright ridiculous even by name, but they're still pretty good. I mean, I get that the Mushroom Kingdom doesn't make its presence somewhere, but it's fine. I mean, as long as it's not the entire show, because if the Mushroom Kingdom was the entire show, then it would be fine, but it will get boring after a while. So having different worlds is pretty unique and fascinating. And also, it may or may not inspire the creation of Super Mario Odyssey. Also, make a sequel, please! Speaking of stuff that inspired other games, why does this look familiar? And while I'm at it, did you know that the show predicted Super Princess Peach? How many times did the show predict the future? I would like to know. Alrighty, now that we talked about all the stuff that's in the show, as well as some of the stuff I like, now it's time to talk about its problems.
And if you do drugs, you go to hell before you die. Please.
With every sweet layer, there's a sour middle. Let's talk about the middle. Problem number 1. The show is kinda dated. Like I mentioned before in the live action segments, they have a lot of guest appearances. Some of them are just fictional characters that were popular in the 80s that a lot of kids today wouldn't even know who they are. Like seriously, name one person who knows Inspector Gadget today.
What is that?
Yeah, I didn't think so. And not to mention, in the animated segments, the animation itself, while I don't think it's that bad, but it really kinda shows its age. Problem number 2, Toad. It's no secret that Toad is the most annoying character in the entire Mario series, right next to Princess Peach. And the show kind of makes him better, but not by much. Alright, before I could talk about the problems with Toad in the show, let me talk about his redeeming aspects. Well, he's supportive if he's not too cranky, and he does help out with the heroes in so many situations. But other than that, he's annoying, just like the ones in the games. And his voice is just irritating.
Hey, Papa! Did anyone ever tell you you were ugly?
But he does have one funny.
You've been hitting the sauce again!
Problem number 3, the animated segment pacing. For some reason, the pacing in the show feels a bit off to me. Like the live action segments feel pretty smooth despite the runtime that these segments have. while the anime segments just throw everything out of the bus and into our face like, Jesus, the kids need a break! Like, why does one of the segments feel so calm and chill, while the other ones just go completely, like, bonkers? But I don't know, maybe that's just me. And then we get to the last problem of the show, which is possibly my biggest gripe, because for whatever reason, in every single episode, even if they're not airing on TV anymore, Mario and Luigi have a sort of urgency to advertise something in the middle of an episode. Okay, what's there to advertise? Is it something good? Is it something passable? Or is it something...
This is the Triforce of Wisdom, Link. The evil wizard Ganon has the Triforce of Power. Whoever gets both Triforces will rule this land forever. You must help me, Link.
Hey, for you, Zelda, anything.
Nice job, hero.
Hey, excuse me, princess.
Alright, let's get this over with.
Link, here come to town. Come to save the Princess Zelda.
Okay, for whatever reason, the people that were behind the Super Mario Bros. Super Show thought it would be a good idea if the Legend of Zelda series got a cartoon series. Well, you should have told that person to hold that thought because, yeah, this show sucks. And by sucks, I mean it really sucks. Like, what were they thinking with this one? I mean, Super Show, for all its problems, at least it had some charming moments to it, for the most part. Legend of Zelda, on the other hand, oh nope, this one does not. It tried to be Super Show, but failed. Because guess what? Somebody forgot to tell that somebody who thought that this was a good idea that, Legend of Zelda and Super Mario Bros. Are two completely different things. Super Mario Bros. Is a fun and simple game, while Legend of Zelda is more of an adventure type game. And nowadays, the games take themselves seriously, like they're basically the Lord of the Rings of gaming. And this one feels like an insult. I don't even play the Zelda games and I feel insulted just by looking at it. If I could say one positive thing about this show, it would be, well, it gave birth to this clip.
Well, excuse me, princess.
But other than that, this show is a worthless piece of trash that should even have the Zelda name on it. In fact, there's a reason why Link never speaks ever again, because his voice is so freaking annoying. And then after this advertisement, we get more live action goodness, and that's where each episode ends. And now it's time for the end of the video. Alright, now that we're at the final section of the video, it's time for me to talk about my overall thoughts and opinions about the Super Mario Bros. Super Show. And you know what? After revisiting it, after not seeing any of the episodes, well, except for the memes, I think it's pretty alright. Even though the live action segments, for me at least, were the best parts, the animated segments does have some of its moments. Well, for the most part at least. And yeah, even though it does have a few problems here and there, I think some of these problems could be overlooked. Now, here's a little question that I might answer. Is the Super Mario Bros. Super Show a perfect adaptation of the Mario games? Kind of yes and kind of no. Kind of yes, because at least it has some of the character designs and characters from the original NES games. No, because, well, judging from how the series is going today, it doesn't necessarily have all the stuff to make a good Mario show. but it's not bad. It's not good either. It's something for you to enjoy. So if you're looking for a cartoon show that has zany sort of like charm to it, then yeah, I could kind of recommend it. But if you're looking for a Mario cartoon that makes a perfect adaptation for the games, yeah, this is not for you. So anyways, bottom line, the show is alright. Not a good adaptation of the games, but I don't think it's trying to be. At least, I think. Unlike a certain... Well, you know what? I'm not gonna mention that movie. The movie sucks.
Well, thank you so much for watching, everybody. Until next time, do it, Mario.
Do the Mario, swing your arms from side to side. Come on, it's time to go. Do the Mario, take one step. And then again, let's do the Mario all together now. You got it. It's the Mario. Do the Mario, swing your arms from side to side. Come on, it's time to go. Do the Mario, take one step. And then again, let's do the Mario all together now.